Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. As you can probably tell, it's a little bit wet and it's a little bit windy. Rubbish tide, rubbish weather. Yeah, I know, it is, isn't it? Rubbish tide, rubbish weather. But look, it can't always be sunshine and rainbows. It is what it is. And this is the only opportunity I'm going to get to do some fishing this week. I also need to be back by 3 o'clock. I know I was down this way in my last video, but like I said, given the factors, this venue is literally my only option today, and it's better than no video at all. I'm down at Goldcliff, high water, it's in around 3.5 hours time, 9.1 meters, which in old money for Newport is 10.8 because we had 1.7. Anyway, let's get some baits in the water. Right down rod guys, first cast. Line's gone slack. I've just tightened that line. That's on a squid and mackerel cocktail on a 4.0 Paternoster pennel. Oh, well that was a good start. A bite on the very first cast. It didn't develop, but yeah, encouraging signs. And also, by some miracle, the wind has dropped right down. I'm not sure if someone's looking down on me, but when I pulled up in the car, it was blowing a gale. But in the last 20 minutes or so, it's dropped right down. Still a bit wet, still got some persistent light rain. But look, we're fishing. And it's like I said before, a lot of my subscribers can't go fishing anymore. And what they would give to be here now. Right down rod guys, I think he's come back. Let's take a look. it's really dark, like proper gloomy. Yeah, there's a funny couple of bites then. On the first bite, like I said, the line went all slack. I tightened it, but nothing. A couple of minutes later, it came back. A couple of subtle rattles and taps. Fish on. Oh, that's a good one, guys. Oh. It's got to be a big thornback. Just hugging the bottom. I can't do anything with this at all. If that's not a big thornback ray, I'll be very surprised. There's no snags out there. I think the lens of the camera is covered in rain, so apologies. I'm doing my best. Ah, I can't move it. Gone. That was a big fish, guys. Look, these things happen. 100% a big thornback. And it makes sense because, yeah, squid and mackerel, one of their favourites. There's always next time. Got a 2-hook flapper rig on the cheap old boat rod. Couple of nice rattles, so I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, as I thought, a little whiting. Yeah, this rain is really heavy now. Let's pop him back in. We're off the mark then. Yeah, on the cheap old boat rod, there's a 2-hook flapper rig, size 2 hooks. On the left hand rod, there's a 4.0 paternoster pennel. On the right down rod, a 4.0 pulley pennel. I made a mistake earlier. I said that on the right down rod there was a paternoster pennel. There's not. It's a pulley pennel. Yeah, going back to that fish I lost on the very first cast on the right down rod. Like I said, 100% a thornback. When I struck into it, it was just kiting to the left. I could feel it kiting. I could feel those wings flapping. And then all of a sudden, I could feel it burying itself in the mud, and they often do that. But yeah, that was a good one. I'm not sure if you could see the bend in the rod there when I first struck it. But look, I can't complain. I've caught a lot of thornbacks this year, so it's inevitable you're going to lose the odd one. This video is going to be a shambles, guys. Camera's soaking wet, I'm soaking wet, the tackle's soaking wet, everything's soaking wet. But in a weird kind of way, it's like I say, it's nice to be out here. You know, when it comes to sea fishing, when you've got to work with, Yeah, the bell's going now on the cheap wheel boat rod, but again, that's probably a whiting. Be fantastic if it was a small codling. I just want to see one this winter. Yeah, when it comes to sea fishing, working with tides and weather and time, sometimes you just got to go with it. I've spent far too many hours of my life, you know, pondering, shall I go, shan't I? You end up not going and then you regret it afterwards. So yeah, conditions today, they're not ideal, but yeah, I'm out here having a go. And I haven't blanked, so happy days. Apparently the rain is meant to move on, so we've almost got rid of that wind. The rain is going to move on around high tide or just after. Might be able to get a few scenery shots then. Yeah, back in work tomorrow, so I need to make the most of this. Hope you're all doing okay, guys. I know that it's that time of year now whereby the nights are drawing in, it's getting a bit darker. That can affect the old mental health, so if you can, try and get out as often as possible, even if it's a little walk. I do a lot of walking. I don't always go fishing, trust me. Like most people, I probably go fishing once a week, twice if I'm lucky. But yeah, like fishing, walking is very important in my life. It's a simple thing to do, but it's very, very effective. But at the same time, I appreciate that there are people out there that can't leave the house. I know that because you tell me. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. We're about an hour off high water. No more bites on these two main rods, but lots of rattles and taps on the cheap wheel boat rod. So there's obviously a lot of small fish close in. At the moment, on the left hand rod, there's a whole squid with a big bunch of ragworm on its back. On this right hand rod, I'm sticking with a squid and mackerel cocktail, just in case there's any more thornbacks out there. Who knows, there might well be. Old horses down there. Been on good form in fairness, been keeping me company. Yeah, talking of rain, obviously, we've had quite a bit during the past week or so. So there's going to be a bit of fresh water out there. Will it be a factor? That's the question. Of course, somehow, you know, the fresh water and the salt water, they have to get on. They have to form like a relationship in order for the overall ecosystem to work. And they do get on. They do make it work somehow. I suppose we go back to the old saying, opposites attract, and you can apply that to human beings, you know, in terms of relationships. I got no idea where that just come from. I just blagged that. No idea if it made any sense whatsoever. It's just one of those days. Just gotta go with it and hope for the best. Yeah, coming up in future videos, obviously these local marks are my favourite marks, but also I do like to fish off the beaches in late autumn. So you might see me down the Gower or Porthcawl, well, down that way. You know, I can't remember the last time I fished down Barry, and Barry is, like Newport, it's one of my favourite places to go fishing. It's bizarre, that is. No explanation. Yeah, the last video was, I enjoyed making that one, guys. I was up there. Might be able to see the pink house in the background. That's one of my favourite marks of all time, but I filmed that slightly differently to how I normally do it. A few lovely congers turned up. I did lose a few, mind as well. Yeah, it just felt right. It was a pleasure to be there that evening. Alright, it was a bit of a northeasterly wind, but yeah, it just clicked. And like I said, when it comes to filming, it doesn't always click. And I'm not just talking about fish, you know, generally speaking. That's me, my coat is catching the line. I didn't realise that until just then. The whiting are getting bigger, slowly. Pretty things, in fairness. Nicely hooked. Oh well, I've had two. He's gone. The old ebb starting to kick in. That's what we want. Left hand rod, guys, left hand rod. There we go. On the right, guys, got a bite on the left and the right at the moment. Yeah, there we go. Let's take a look. Both rods go in at the same time. Strange. Nothing came of those bites, but I'm pretty sure they were strap congers. The baits were in quite good nick, so no real conviction. Obviously a quick snatch and off they went. Yeah, so I had a bite on the left and the right, and also the cheap eel boat rod, all at the same time. As soon as the ebb kicked in, it's always the way down here. Still got time. I'll do my very best. Yeah, thankfully that rain at last is becoming much lighter. Yeah, I'll give it another, I reckon I got another 45 minutes of fishing left or thereabouts. I'm gonna get one. Yes, it's been an interesting morning to say the least, for various reasons. Yeah, a bit of ebb magic. That's what we want. And we got a chance. Oh, left hand rod, look at that, guys. Talk about talking it up. Yeah, again, you know, that initial quick snatch. That's why I think they're small straps, because if they were bigger ones, they wouldn't hesitate to take the bait, you know. And judging by that bite, yeah, it was a nice bite, as you saw. Well, hopefully you saw it on camera. But, yeah, I got the impression that it was a small fish. Nope, let's pop him back down. They're playing games with me. It's funny, last week at the Pink House, you know, landed a few crackers. I can't land a thing today. Cheap eel boat rod, fish on. I'm having a mate today. The fish is on there, but I think it's got stuck on those wooden posts, so might have to wait 20 minutes or so for the tide to drop and we'll go and retrieve it. But the fish will be perfectly fine, no probs. It's just one of those days. Right, quick update, well into the ebb now. I got a conger attached to the rig of that cheap eel boat rod. I know it's a conger, I can feel it. Not very big, probably 4 or 5 pounds. Like I said, it's either stuck on those wooden stakes or it's stuck on the ledge. But there's plenty of water down there, you'll be fine. We'll take a look at that soon. What else? I've ripped my trousers, they're trashed. That's those rocks for you. And also, it's probably stopped raining. Not have a drop now in about 15 minutes. Typical, now that it's time to go home. Always the way. Look, we all have days like this. Anyone that says that they don't, they're not telling the truth. I've lost count of how many fish I've lost today, or should I say how many bites I've missed. I tell you what though, I can't believe how many bites I had on all 3 rods as soon as the ebb kicked in. Literally, as soon as it kicked in, all 3 rods, bang bang bang. I couldn't keep up with it. Trying to keep the camera dry as well. And that's my excuse sorted. You gotta show it. You gotta show it as it is. Riverside with me. Real life. Although, I am going to be changing the name of the channel soon from Riverside with me to Canal Side with me. Bit of canal fishing. Much easier than this. Only joking. Yeah, stick on that ledge. I reckon that'll be exposed in about 10 minutes. Maybe a bit longer. The question is that fish still attached? I don't want to pull too hard because it's only a flapper rig. Can I pull it off? Right at the end. Quite nice down here. Now, I can see the top hook of the rig, but I can't see the bottom hook. The rig, or the weight, is still stuck on the ledge. It's not quite exposed enough yet. Might have to give it another 2 minutes or so. But I can't feel any movement. Now, when I was up there, I could feel the fish on the end, 100%. It's not looking good. Yeah, as I thought, he obviously got away. Well, that pretty much sums up my day. But I tell you what, despite all of the issues and problems, it's been thoroughly enjoyable. Wanted to make sure that I made the most of today because I won't be fishing now for another week or so. So there we are, guys, another one done. Hope you have a good laugh at me. Just wanted to mention, the comments on this one are going to be turned off. I'm sorry about that. The reason why, when this video goes out, I'm not going to be around. As you all know, I reply to every single comment on pretty much every video. But yeah, it just happens that I'm not going to be here. So, but back to normal on the next one. I can promise you that, and the comments will be switched back on. As always, thanks very much for watching. I'm taking up a new hobby, and I'll see you soon. Take care. I'm trying to think of a new hobby. My sporting days are probably behind me. Used to play a lot of sport when I was younger, but not so much now. I suppose there's knitting, and make a few fishing jumpers, painting, but yeah, as for the fishing, after today's performance, I'm done. Gotta have a laugh.